What if one of the most powerful medicines on the planet has been sitting in your kitchen this whole time, and you've been using it only to flavor food? Ginger. Most people think it's just a spice. A little kick in a stir-fry. Something you add to tea when you have a cold. But here's what the science actually says. Ginger contains over 400 natural chemical compounds. And when you eat it every day, something remarkable starts happening inside your body, from your gut to your joints to your brain. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to look at that little root very differently. For thousands of years, ginger was treated like medicine. Ancient Chinese physicians prescribed it. Ayurvedic healers swore by it. Greek sailors carried it on long voyages to prevent nausea. Then somewhere along the way, modern culture reduced it to a garnish. But researchers never stopped studying it, and what they've found over the past 2 decades is genuinely impressive. We're talking about effects on inflammation, digestion, blood sugar, heart health, brain function, and more. So today, we're going deep. We're covering exactly what happens to your body when ginger becomes a daily habit, day by day, week by week, and long term. Let's start from the moment it hits your tongue. What happens in your gut? The second ginger enters your digestive system, it gets to work. Ginger stimulates the production of digestive enzymes, the chemicals your body uses to break down food. This means your stomach empties faster, your body absorbs nutrients more efficiently, and that heavy bloated feeling after meals, it starts to fade. This is especially powerful for people who suffer from chronic bloating, indigestion, or that uncomfortable fullness that lingers for hours after eating. But here's the part most people don't know. Ginger also directly targets a condition called gastric dysmotility, a fancy term for when the muscles in your stomach aren't moving food through properly. It's more common than most people realize, and it's behind a huge amount of unexplained digestive discomfort. Studies have shown that ginger can speed up gastric emptying by up to 50% in people with this condition. Within the first week of eating ginger daily, most people notice their digestion feels smoother, less gas, less discomfort, more regular bowel movements. Your gut bacteria also respond to ginger. The bioactive compounds in ginger help suppress harmful bacteria in the gut lining while supporting a healthier microbial environment. And given how connected gut health is to everything, immunity, mood, energy, that's a bigger deal than it sounds. The inflammation connection, here's something that changes the way you think about disease. Almost every chronic condition that affects people today, heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, even certain cancers, has one thing in common at its root. Chronic inflammation, not the helpful kind of inflammation that heals a cut, the silent, slow-burning kind that damages tissue over months and years without obvious symptoms. Ginger is one of the most potent natural anti-inflammatory substances ever studied. The compound responsible is called gingerol. It's what gives fresh ginger its sharp, pungent flavor, and it works by blocking the same inflammatory pathways that prescription anti-inflammatory drugs target. Except ginger does it without the gastrointestinal side effects those drugs are known for. Multiple clinical trials have now confirmed that daily ginger consumption significantly reduces markers of systemic inflammation, including C-reactive protein, which is one of the key blood markers doctors use to assess inflammation levels in the body. What does that mean for you, practically? If you have joint pain, stiffness, or early signs of arthritis, many people report noticeable reduction in discomfort within 2 to 4 weeks of daily ginger use. Not gone, but measurably better. Doctors rarely mention this because there's no prescription to write. But the research is there, and it's consistent. Your blood sugar and heart, this next one matters especially if you're over 35 or if diabetes runs in your family. Ginger has a measurable effect on blood sugar regulation. Here's how it works. Ginger improves insulin sensitivity, which means your cells respond more effectively to the insulin your body produces. When insulin sensitivity is low, blood sugar stays elevated, and over time that leads to pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes. A study published in the Iranian Journal of Pharmaceutical Research found that participants who took 3 grams of ginger daily for 8 weeks saw significant reductions in fasting blood sugar and HbA1c levels, both key indicators of blood sugar control. But here's the shocking part. The reduction in HbA1c was comparable to what some blood sugar medications achieve. From a root that costs almost nothing. Now let's talk about your heart. Ginger helps lower LDL cholesterol, the kind that builds up in artery walls and increases heart attack risk. It also reduces triglycerides, another blood fat linked to cardiovascular disease. And because ginger has mild blood thinning properties, it helps improve circulation, reducing the risk of dangerous clots forming in the bloodstream. If you combine daily ginger with a reasonably healthy diet, the cumulative effect on cardiovascular health over months and years is genuinely significant. Your brain on ginger. Most people focus on ginger for physical health, but what's happening in the brain is just as interesting. Oxidative stress and neuroinflammation, inflammation inside brain tissue, are now understood to be major drivers of cognitive decline. Conditions like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease both involve this kind of chronic brain inflammation building up over decades. The antioxidants in ginger directly combat oxidative stress in brain tissue. And gingerol has been shown in animal studies to reduce neuroinflammation and protect neurons from damage. But here's what's relevant right now, not just long-term. A study out of Thailand tested daily ginger extract on middle-aged women and measured their cognitive performance after 2 months. The results showed significant improvements in reaction time, working memory, and attention span. Translation: ginger may make you sharper, more focused, mentally clearer. If you've been feeling foggy, forgetful, or struggling to concentrate, your brain might benefit from what your gut has already been enjoying. Nausea, immunity, and pain. Let's cover a few more effects that happen quickly, sometimes within days. Nausea. Ginger is one of the most clinically validated natural remedies for nausea that exists. It works for morning sickness in pregnancy, motion sickness, post-surgery, nausea, and nausea from chemotherapy. The mechanism involves blocking serotonin receptors in the gut that trigger the vomiting reflex. This is fast-acting, often within 20 to 30 minutes of consuming ginger. Immunity. Ginger has antimicrobial properties that help your immune system fight off pathogens more effectively. It also has antiviral compounds that may inhibit the replication of certain respiratory viruses. This is why ginger tea has been a cold remedy across cultures for centuries. It wasn't superstition. It was observation. Pain. Beyond joint inflammation, ginger has been studied specifically for menstrual pain, and the results are striking. One study found that ginger was as effective as ibuprofen for relieving period pain in the first days of the menstrual cycle. Slice a small piece of fresh ginger into hot water in the morning. Add lemon. That's it. Simple, cheap, and effective. Grat it into your meals. Stir fries, soups, salad dressings, smoothies. Ginger blends into almost anything. Ginger tea bags are convenient and widely available. Not quite as potent as fresh ginger, but still beneficial with daily use. Ginger supplements in capsule form are an option, but whole food ginger is always preferable when possible, because the full range of compounds work better together than any single extract. One important note: if you're on blood thinners like warfarin, or you're pregnant and consuming large amounts, check with your doctor first. Ginger is extremely safe for most people at normal dietary doses, but high supplemental doses may interact with certain medications. Here's the takeaway from everything we covered today. Ginger is not a miracle cure. It's not going to reverse disease overnight or replace medical care, but it is one of the most well-researched, consistently beneficial, and accessible natural foods available to us, and most people are dramatically underusing it. Every day you eat ginger, you are doing something real for your gut, something measurable for your inflammation, something protective for your heart, your blood sugar, and your brain. That little root is not just a spice. It is one of the most generous things nature has handed us, and it costs almost nothing. Start small. Be consistent. Give it 30 days. And pay attention to how your body responds. Because sometimes the most powerful health decisions aren't the expensive or complicated ones. Sometimes they're the ones sitting quietly in the corner of your kitchen, waiting for you to take them seriously. Thank you for watching. If this gave you something valuable today, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And I'll see you in the next one.